Hey everybody, this is Container Chick coming to you live from the ground. You know, I usually make videos in my car, and right now I just got in my house. So don't be looking in the background of my business. Just bear with me. This video, wait, let me calm down. I hope everybody's well. This video is about lateness, tardiness. Now, I'm not hiding my face. I just happen to be walking into a dark house where there are no lights on because I'm just getting in the house. Now, something happened to me today that lets me know that I am not ever going to disrespect anyone's time ever again, as much as I can help it. Now, here I am. Yeah. A friend asked me to take her somewhere. And I said, okay, when? She said, on Friday, which is today. I said, okay, I actually have some projects to work on and work, but I'll be to you like after 5. Will that work for you? And she says, yes. I said, cool. So 5, we agreed, we confirmed. I'm like, okay. You know, she didn't work today, which was her personal business, however, and I said I'll be there like 5:15, 5:30, no later than 5:30. She said, okay, fine. And I called her when I was leaving to say I'm leaving now, should be there. And I left a little bit earlier because traffic starts to get a little bit worse after exactly 5 in this particular area where I was. So ironically, the traffic was pretty nice. I'm like, okay, cool. And I got on the highway. I got there to her house about literally like 5:15, which is cool. I'm like, okay, we're doing good. And she has to work tonight at 11 to 7 or something. So, okay, I'll get to you enough time, take her to this place, which is in another county, and do whatever your business is. And she happens to live on a street that is a one-way street. There's parking on both sides, but it's also dotted with many, many driveways. And there's never any parking, which is fine. Actually, it's like a 3-family house, so, and she's on the top floor. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I pull up, and no, I'm sorry. On my way to the major street that takes me to her street, I'm on it, and I'm like, listen, I call her, she doesn't answer, and I said, listen, I am on the major street. I should be at your house in 5 minutes. No answer. And then she texts me, and I'm in the car, and I don't answer the text because I'm in the car. And I get there in 5 minutes. Now, I pull up. Her street's a narrow street, so if you stop, the people behind you will have to squeeze by you, or they have to sit behind you. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, she's not outside. She didn't call me back to say I'm on my way downstairs, other than saying the text said something like, well, I'm in the bathroom getting ready. So I called back again in front of the house. Hey, I'm here. I said, here. I'm here. And then I text here. No answer. So a car pulls up behind me, and it's a big old, like a 4x4, like an old Bronco, like a big old Bronco. And the guy's blowing the horn. I'm like, okay, gosh, I gotta move. If I move and go around, it's all these one-way streets, another 10 minutes just getting around back to her. So I was getting myself together. I'm dialing her again, and dude is blowing his horn like crazy. Then a woman comes out of the house next door, and then he gets out, this big dude, even if the dude was a little dude, but he gets out, he's like banging on the car window. He cussed me the funk out. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. You are right. I'm so sorry. He's like, yeah, you are sorry, bitch. I'm like, you know what? I do apologize. Now, here's the irony. Those of us who have driveways, we despise people blocking us from our access to our home. I don't know what kind of day this man had. He's probably been out here busting rocks like everybody who worked today. I call it working is busting rocks. I don't care if you're a receptionist or you're literally on the highway busting rocks. Work can be work, and you want to get home. It is Friday night. It's a little cloudy where I am. It's Friday night, and people want to go home. all right? Be with their loved ones, have a drink, scratch their, whatever they want to do. They don't want you blocking their driveway, right? And he's cussing me out. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So I pull up in another person's driveway to the side, across the other side. This man's in his driveway too, but he's sitting in his driveway ready to pull out. He's like, don't park here. I'm like, you know what, sir? Okay. I call this person again. I say, hey, listen, you got to come downstairs. Yada, yada, yada. And no answer. I get a text. Well, I'm still in the bathroom. I started driving. Then she called. She's like, I told you I was in the bathroom. I said, listen, I don't care. Yes, nature calls, but you know that I'm coming to pick you up. We've had this discussion before. I am leaving you. I will not take you today. Well, I'm going to get ready to come down. I said, you can save your time. You can come down, but I'm not going to be here. Okay. Now, I know that anyone could have an emergency. Anyone could get ill. Nature can call. But if you want someone to do something for you and they've taken some of their goddamn life minutes, okay, GOT. You don't disrespect their time. I cannot stand when someone disrespects my time. I don't disrespect my time, okay? The Creator has given all of us who woke up today on April 19th, 2024, and you're still up and you're still alive. The Creator has given you 24 hours, and we're not done with this day yet, right? Thank you, all right? And I'm not going to waste any of it. I get up very early because I know something. There are people who can't get out of bed. They love to get out of bed. I get up like I'm going to wake up the sun, only because I've slept a lot and I've used up a lot of my life minutes sleeping. When you sleep after you're done here, it's a long sleep. There are some Egyptian kings and queens who are still sleeping. They didn't wake up. That was it. There are people. My grandma's still sleeping since January 12th, 2003. Okay. I could go on with all the people who are still sleeping, right? And once you sleep, it's eternal. So I get myself up. Sometimes I'll be fumbling around here. Sometimes I stretch. Sometimes I just thank God I got another day. I'm like, oh, I got another day. I grab this day and I seize the day. Semper Fiat. Okay, I forget how it's pronounced. But I do not. I try my best not to waste my minutes. And I'm never late for work. All right. I'm like clockwork. When people tell me they're late for work, I'm like, you late going to get your money? You're late going to bust your rocks to get your coin. It's unacceptable to me. Now, if you want to waste your time and be late and be ostracized and talk to like a child about being where you know you're supposed to be on time, that's on you. Whatever arrangements you have. Now, I have a friend who has an arrangement and he works with three other people, and they have an arrangement with each other because the three of them live closer to where they work and he lives the furthest. So if he misses one train or there's something about the train, he's running late, they wait. Okay. They have a system in place that works for that group. I'm okay with that too. But I am not going to be late and I live 15 minutes from door to door. Not for me. Anything could happen. Emergencies are actually very rare. But the people that disrespect time, their own time, and then don't govern themselves accordingly to respect yours, which you really can't expect, it gets under my skin, right? So the rest of the story goes like this. Now the heat is on because my head is hot. Because as I'm driving towards my house, I realize you got out, you left your job early, maybe 5 minutes, right? And you drove past your exit to where you live to go and accommodate and help a friend who asked you for your assistance and they're not outside. And when you call them, they don't answer because I'm in the bathroom. The truth is most people nowadays, we have phones, take the phone with them, especially if you're waiting for somebody to pick your ass up, right? Living on the third floor, she's got to come down 4 flights of stairs and gather your stuff. And she didn't work all day today. So now you just blazingly disrespected my time. It's not the first time. The first time she did it, I said, look, your street is very difficult to just sit and wait. When I tell you I'm coming, you should be outside. And I always call about 10 blocks from the house and say, okay, I'm only 2 minutes away. You're in a car, right? And she'll say, okay, and you will arrive there and she is not downstairs. Her bell doesn't work, so you have to blow your horn. She doesn't hear it. You have to now call her on the phone. She don't answer the phone. If she answers the phone, oh, I'm on my way down. You're still not out the door. And I said to her, you know, honey, I love you, but I'm going to tell you straight up. Don't disrespect my time, because the next time you do, I'm going to leave your ass. Oh, you're so funny. I said, no, you're going to be left. Now, I actually stopped and got something real quick to eat. And I had a shot of Hennessy, I'm not gonna lie, right? To calm myself down. And the server there's like, you okay, D? And I was like, no. And I kind of vented. And he's like, yeah, that's pretty tough. There's always some people in the group. And I was like, yeah, but I don't like that shit. All right. And I tell anyone who will listen, my mom worked her whole career as a nurse, right? At the same place. And you are not making her, you ain't making her late for her job. She worked, mostly her shift was 7 to 3. And I remember her working at night too, at some point, probably to pick up some more hours at some point. We were on the bus stop. It was 6:15, 6:30. And she didn't work that far, but we all got on the bus and we went, like the major street, it was Montgomery Street. The Montgomery bus took her to right in front of her job, but the major street, you had to walk up to that street. In the major street, you could take one bus and connect, whatever. And it really wasn't that far. It literally was 10 minutes by car. She didn't have a car. And we went out of that house and went to summer camp. So we weren't late going nowhere, because you was not making her late for her job. You better run away and still be running today. And this is 2024, right? And I respect that. And I remember saying, I'm never going to get up early when I'm a grown adult. And I've had many jobs where one job I had, and I was working for a bank, U.S. Trust. And I worked in Manhattan on 9th Street. They had an outlet on 9th Street. And like the back operations division was on 9th Street in Manhattan, in the Village. And the train I used to take was the PATH train. It would let me off at the corner of 9th Street, but you had to walk over avenues. And if you know anything about New York City, you've got like 1st Avenue, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way over to 12th or 13th Avenue. And then you got the street numbers, or, 1 through 3, going up the whole Manhattan, right? So it's like a grid. And I know things have changed, but those major streets like 6th Avenue, Avenue of the Americas is the same thing. 7th Avenue, that was the famous where the fashion, came out of, and back in the year 2 or 1. And then 8th, 9th, that kind of thing. So you had to walk from 5th Avenue and 9th Street at the corner where the PATH was over to, 6th Avenue or 7th Avenue over to, because in the Village it got really weird, the grid changed, but over to, it stopped on 8th Street, the 8th corner of 8th and 7th, and then you got off and you walked 8th over to 7th Avenue, over to 5th Avenue, and then U.S. Trust was there, another avenue over in this building, and in East Village, and I would be late. And I remember being put on probation on my job, to be late. And I don't know about now, but when they put you on probation on a job, or an action plan to do better, your ass is out the door soon. But what I did was, I wound up getting another job anyway, so I didn't get fired for it. I think I was headed there. And if you've never been fired or threatened to be fired, it's scary, right? Because you don't know. Now, I'm a young girl at this point, and that's the year 2, as I mentioned. However, I'm like, I'm not going to let them fire me. I'm going to find another job. And I did, because I don't know anyone who gets off probation and continues to work at a place. Like, if they make an action plan for you to do better, perform better, it's kind of like the action plans for you to get out of here, right? And so I did find the job, and so I didn't get fired for being late, but I think that's what was going to happen. And then I remembered, like, hey, you live in Jersey City. Like, you're literally not that far. But of course I'm young, I'm partying this and that. And I was like, you know what? You are young and you are partying, but you get your ass up and get to work on time, because you're getting this money, and they will fire your ass, right? And ever since then, I was never late for work. You could be late for a lot of things. 2 things you can't be late for is your job or death. You ain't gonna be late for that, because you're going, right? With that being said, I actually realized, hey, just leave a half an hour or an hour earlier. And then you're not rushing like a crazy person. Now, we used to get these notifications on the New York. We lived in the New York City market as far as the news goes. News is different now. The newscasters used to go out and get information, bring it back and tell you. Nowadays, they're looking at people's posts online. But ABC, NBC, CBS, they tell you, oh, there's a delay on the PATH trains or subway, whatever. And if you went by that, you were going to be, and you took your time. The train's delayed anyway. I might as well just take my time. It wasn't helping you because usually that news was old. Now we have news that's instantaneous. So you can kind of rely more on the fact that the trains are backed up or there's an explosion or some, the famous smoke condition on the trains. It's just a smoke condition. There's no fire. And I'm like, well, where there's smoke, there's fire. Did that cliche like go the way of the dodo bird or somebody lying? Right. So with that being said, I would say, well, I got plenty of time. I'll take my time. Then I realized, no, you go in there. And when you get to the PATH train, after you take your time, everything's clear. Like nothing had happened. So a lot of that was late stuff. And I grew to understand lateness, a little differently. And as I got older and the other places that I worked and, going to my college courses, and the professor would give you time. Like if you weren't, some professors, if you weren't there, you were 15 minutes late, they would close the door. Now, if you are a night student or an adult student, it'll be a little different because people have jobs, and weather makes a difference. There's a lot of things that can, interfere with your timeliness, right? But a lot of times people that are late, habitually late, it's a disrespect of time. I was married to someone who was a chronic procrastinator, and they disrespected their time always, and I did not accommodate it. Now, I read an article while I was getting something really quick to eat about lateness and people. How do you deal with friends that are chronically late? And the person who wrote the article was a person who was chronically late. And they were saying, oh, well, if you tell me 6-ish, I'm going to get there at 8. And such, but I don't do that at work because I'm going to get my money. So I'm looking, I want to comment, but I made a decision not to comment on everything somebody said that's stupid or online. And I'm thinking the other suggestions that they suggested to accommodate their lateness, no, leave their ass. Don't start food without them, whatever, but do not accommodate their lateness because you're accommodating something that's disrespectful in the first place. I had a relative, she was like in her 90s, and she taught me a lot, and I hated her because I didn't like her. But she taught me, if you told her that the event, like my cousin got married and she was there, you told her the wedding was going to start at 3 o'clock, at 2 o'clock. She was already sitting in those pews at 1 o'clock, if not 1:30, 1 o'clock, because she didn't drive at one point. So she would get a ride. If you were giving her a ride, when you showed up at her house, she was outside. There was no, you're calling her, oh, I'm in the bathroom getting dressed, was none of that, right? So I remember my cousin Punch got married, and we lived further away from everyone and the church. So she was in that church and we were there because we lived in another county, right? We lived in another county. And my kids were dressed, my husband and I, and we are there. And he's like, baby, ain't nobody here. I was like, yeah, the time disrespecters are not here. He said, what about the wedding party? I said, some people think it is okay to be fashionably late. There's no such thing. It's called disrespectfully late. Because you're a bridezilla, it's okay for you to be late. No, this church has a time span. You rented this church for 2 hours. You better be there. Some places, some venues, time is money. And if you're not there on time, then, okay, oops, that's it. Now, I got some horror stories with time, but I won't go into that for this reason because I'm only going to get angry about it. But people that disrespect your time disrespects their own on a regular basis. And if somebody else is involved in something you're doing with them, then you should govern yourself accordingly because it's fucking disrespectful. All right. And it's inconsiderate. Now, I got screamed at and my window got banged up by some big, who wanted to fight me, literally old man, because I was blocking his driveway. He wanted to get home. I don't know what kind of day this man had. This man wanted to get home into his house. And she with the driveway despises people blocking her because I don't care what time of day or night that I roll up here. I should be able to have access to where I live to get into my place. And if I have to wait for you, it is a problem for you because I will tell you, I don't care. I will not. A neighbor had a party and they blocked my driveway. And the guy says, I don't know why you told my friend because you're always home every day. Anyway, you don't have nothing to do. I said, you don't know what the funk you're talking about. I don't give a damn if I was home all day, all night, or whatever. I want to come and go. I don't have to come and go. All you have to do is knock on the door. Somebody knocking on your damn door. Okay. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. And the officer's like, miss, I got this. Oh, she's always in her house. I said, you don't know what the funk you're talking about. It's not that. It's the principle. You thought it was okay to block me because you think you got me pegged? No, you got yourself told. Okay. Now get the funk out my face, right? Oh, you think you bad. I said, yeah, I got something for that. All right. You're wrong. Okay. You can't assume that what you're doing is okay for other people. Now, back to the friend. I'm right now having this video about being tardy because some people think the shit's okay. It is not okay. All right. It's disrespectful. Okay. It's disrespectful of yourself. It's disrespectful of me. I spoke to her about it again and I left her ass. I am not going to accommodate that. And those of you who have friends, if you tell them a certain time or somebody, oh, well, if we know we're going to have dinner at 6, we tell them 4 and they show up at 8. Fuck that. Okay. I ain't doing all this accommodating. It happened before to me with a guy I met at this Mexican place. He was really cool and he was telling me how to wear my wig. So you figure that one out. And he texted me out of the blue one day. He said, hey, are you going down to the Mexican joint? You want to have some margaritas? And I was like, I didn't plan on that, but I am in the area. You want to meet up? So he's like, okay, cool. So I said, okay, Elijah, I'll meet you. So he's like, all right, cool. I said, around what time? He said, 6 o'clock. I said, oh, that's perfect because it's about 5:30 now and I'm in the area. I just got to break a left instead of going straight to my house. He's like, fine, I'll meet you there. I got there. I got us a table because we were going to eat because they have really good bronzini. And I ordered half a pitcher of frozen margarita or margarita rocks, whatever it was. And they give you chips. And I'm sitting there. So now it's about 6:15. So I ordered for myself. And I started eating. And I was doing a pitcher. I never do a half a pitcher by myself. I just don't. And I haven't given another glass. And then another placemat, whatever. And now it's about 7 o'clock. And I called him, he didn't answer. I'm like, okay, cool. So I started eating and I got finished eating. And now it's 7:30. I asked for the bill and I left. And I got home and a half an hour went by. So now it's 8 o'clock. And he calls me and says, okay, I'm on my way. I said, honey, child, I am already in my house in my bed because I live closer. But he's like, oh, I was on my way. I wanted to shower first. I was like, no. I said, well, good luck. You can go and enjoy the food. All right. And I have to go. I left. I was not sitting here while you got yourself together. I don't care if you live in Santa Claus land. All right. If you tell me 6 o'clock, I'm not going to call you at 8 o'clock and tell you I'm on my way. He is chronically late. I met him. I was with another friend and we were there and he showed up came to look for another friend. He said, oh, I came to meet my friend. And that's how we started talking with him. And he said, I don't know if she's here or not. So my friend said, oh, what does she look like? So he described the girl he was waiting to meet. And a tall, thin girl, but nice hair, pretty face, whatever. We were like, oh, she was here. She was sitting here and then she ate and then she left. He said, she always does that. Yeah, nigga, because you always late. That's why. And she's smart. You don't have people waiting on you. Okay. And you think that's okay. Now, today I'm on this rant. Because I had people cussing me out and threatening me because I'm waiting on this person. Well, I told you I was in the bathroom. Yes, bitch, and now you on the BUS because I'm not taking you nowhere, okay? I ain't gonna do it. I already talked to her about it, and that was that. If I keep accommodating it, you're going to keep doing it. You can't tell me you in your 60s that your boss is talking about you being late. You want to be accommodated. You're disrespectful of your time, your money. I ain't her, okay? I grew up in a household. My mother was a nurse. You wasn't making her late for her job. You better run away. Run away. Running away would be the answer, okay? Because she was not having it, right? It is inexcusable. We have weather conditions, all kinds of things we accommodate. It's a new world. But here's the deal. If you're going to be late, you let the person know. She said, well, I took something earlier and my stomach was acting up. I said, so why didn't you call me and tell me? You know what, D? Go ahead because I'm not sure if I'm feeling well. And I don't want to hold you up. And my street is a one-way street and you can't sit here and wait with your hazards on. Not that I was going to while you finish your stomach issues, okay? I'm so livid right now, okay? And I am more upset with the fact that you're trying to debate whatever. No, I know what she did. You didn't answer the phone because you know you wasn't ready, all right? Well, right now, I said, listen, I'm not taking you. And I'm going home. And that's it. People, life is very short. Don't disrespect your time here or anyone else's. Peace and hair grease, live from the guy, and be the fuck on time. Later.